trained Tuesday, Thursday. We went to rugby on Saturday and woke up Sunday trying to find where I left my kit bag.
Hello amateurs, welcome to episode 13 of the Amateur Rugby Podcast, here to help soothe your Sunday morning hangover with some genuinely old school rugby chat about the grassroots of the game. I'm your host Tim, and today I'm in Amsterdam. I'm here visiting a few friends to record some more podcast episodes which will be with you in the new year. This week Saracens decided not to appeal the decision to fine them upwards of £5 million and dock them 35 league points for this season. I feel generally sad about the whole affair, but hopefully the result will be that this type of scandal can never happen again. It's a stain on the whole sport and shows how young the professional game really still is. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Phil Waters. The game needs more officials, and hopefully Phil's stories and experiences might inspire even one of you to pick up the whistle. If it's ever crossed your mind, get out there and give it a try. But my guest this week is Cheltenham RFC President Dave Townsend. Towner was my coach for Cheltenham Colts back in 1995-96 and is also the father of Matt Townsend from episode number 2. This interview was recorded in August of 2019 at Cheltenham Rugby Club, where we appropriately sat in Colts Corner and chatted about the goals of the club, the trials and tribulations of being on the brink of the semi-professional game, and some of the highly niche scrummaging techniques that Towner used to employ. So, listen on for some genuine old school West Country wisdom from my guest, Dave Townsend.
Dave Townsend, welcome to the Amateur Rugby Podcast.
Thank you very much, Tony.
We are sat here in Cheltenham Rugby Club, which is a different place from where it was when I was playing here at Cheltenham. So could you just describe where we're sat here and a few things about the club?
Yeah, sure. Cheltenham Rugby Club. We've moved on from where your play was in the Prince of Wales Stadium. Prior to that was the athletic ground, so that was it, and that's where the rugby club itself started. But we've moved on. Prince of Wales. We come out to Prince of Wales. We don't have enough space for all our million juniors, our teams, etc., ladies. So we made a decision around about 2005 to buy these premises, and it was then called Smith's Industries across the road, now called GE, and we made a leap into the unknown. Steve Ratcliffe and a guy called David Evans and a few others, and we bought the premises.
Was it anything to do with the fact that it's closer to your house, Dave?
No, the Royal Oak in the village is closer to my house, Timmy. We bought the place because, do you know, this is the first club premises field we've ever owned.
I did not know that.
No, a lot of people don't know that. So that was our first. This is our first big investment on our own. And we've got, I think we about a 20-year thing on it that we can't sell it. So we did sell it. Half of it, after whatever the figures is, goes back to. But we're not selling it. We're here for the community. We're here to provide rugby football. We're a business, Tony, and our product is rugby. It's not quite true, because this rugby club has got football, martial arts, flying club.
Yeah, I saw the martial arts thing on the way in.
Yeah, so this rugby club itself is for the community. We're developing it for the benefit of our members and others who come in. Brand new AGP out there from the RFU, 850,000 to support that and supplement it. Brand new change rooms out there, 8 brand new RFU compliant changing rooms, 2 referees rooms, physio room, storage, tractor thing, you name it. That's £1 million worth, all self-funded with grants and things like that. Our old changing rooms are now going to be put into a gym, which is going to be run by James Forster from Gloucester. So since that 2005, it's been hard work. People go, people stay. Can't keep everybody happy. Well, Brexit, isn't it? Can't keep everybody happy.
Let's not get political.
Everyone's got their opinion. And I've been president now for about 4 or 5 years. this committee, ups and downs, not all smooth running, but we're making inroads of what we want to do. And I think when you look around it, this is what you get. And like I said to you earlier just now, we were down at Twickenham last night, Steve Ratcliffe and I, and we were in the last 5 for facilities enhancement and what your things. Oxford Harlequins won it, to be fair to them, and good luck to them. So we had a couple of Guinness and come back here this morning. But the rugby club as a whole, we've got an M&Y section, second to none in Gloucestershire. Our ladies, women, as B. Moslin likes to tell me, Towner, we're women if you don't mind. Yes, B. They great. I came in and watched them play. Team up, Old Albanians.
Yep.
They were up here
From
with their
Hertfordshire.
team. They were up here last Saturday on a friendly game. That one friendly, I have to tell you. So we got a ladies section going very well. They're
Women's, Dave.
women.
Women's.
See, there you go. We're already done. Good job. She's not here.
And just talking about the women's quickly, that's one of the oldest women's sections I think around, isn't it? Because they were playing when I was a Colt.
Yep.
Which is quite some time ago. Yeah, so one of the sort of original teams, I guess.
And I showed you the board around the corner just now, didn't I? Well, funny enough, our current ladies president is Jill Douglas Hogg. So yeah, we're very proud of our women.
Well done, mate.
And they're very and they're very proud of us when we have a bit of a social together. No, we have some good fun, good women, building up women, rugby for kids. You know, really, really going for it. There are some issues with funding and all that sort of stuff, which you're bound to get. But we're proud, very proud of what our girls, our women have done and are doing. So we've got the M&Y section going very well. We got the women going very well. And our men, we've struggled a bit over the past couple of seasons. If you take your mind off, we took a strategic decision to enhance the facilities, put the infrastructure in, put it all right, and then hopefully guys will come and join.
As I drove up here today, it looks really impressive from the road. Like, it looks great. The pitches look fantastic. The clubhouse looks great. It looks like there's a lot going on here. The amount of memorabilia that you got up on the walls, it's a proper rugby club feel. So it was lovely coming in here and like seeing, you know, not just my face on the walls, but a load of people that I've sort of known throughout the years. But let's pause there and go back to you, Towner, as a player.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to hearing some stories from when you used to play. You know, what's your story? Where did you play your rugby?
Okay. I didn't start playing rugby until I did it at school, bit of football, cricket, rugby. But I played in a rock band first.
I knew that.
I played in a thing called the Alley Cats, and I played drums in the Alley Cats. And in those days, we played on the promenade, and you played in the all the Strauss subscription rooms and places like that. And I loved it. It was brilliant. Then my dad said, "Oi, you better get a job." Oh, right, old Dad. What's all that about then? I'm quite happy playing these drums. So I found this advert in the paper to do with a place called GCHQ down the road. So I applied and luckily got in. And when I got into that place, I started to look, those days of people like Jeff Hardy and Bob Jones and Dicey Chance and Terry. I can name all these old guys who started to teach me about what life's about and what you're about as an individual. And they did it via rugby. We did it via the place because we all worked at the same place. And they mentored you, I suppose, but they did it over a beer and good stuff. Really. Yeah. This is we can get into what rugby's about in a minute. And from there, I started to play rugby. So I played down in the civil service. I was all right. I wasn't local rugby. I was captain of the second team, first team. Then I went to chairman of the civil service. Quite proud of that. My name's on their board down there. Yeah, I had some good fun. I met some great people down there. When I was captain down there, I had a big influence of police. My old mate Basher Beer and Murray Sarah Butts. I could name hundreds now of all the guys we all played with. And God, we had some fun. It was the old days.
Yeah.
Up on Stow on the Wold, in the old tin bath. when you sit back about this, you know, we had some really, really good fun, and that's what you did. In that day and age, because I'm 17, I was born in 49, and rugby, we're going to get onto this in a minute, I know you are, about how rugby has changed. But then just about rugby has changed, people have changed, cultures have changed. And what we expected then is not what some of the people want to do now. You know this, and you've heard it many times. You train Tuesday, Thursday, you ran a rugby on Saturday, and woke up Sunday trying to find where I left my kit bag. That's what you did. And you had the dance at the rugby club, you met the girls and all that sort of business, and that's exactly what you did. But your life was structured around that, and then you went to work, and you did all that sort of stuff, and that's where I grew up, and that's when I started to enjoy rugby. Because you know, and I know, it's about people. You've got to meet people. Some are nice, some aren't so nice. Some you can have a beer with, and some you can't. But it's about people, Tony. So I enjoyed my time at rugby. Highlight of my career, I think I had an appearance for Cheltenham combination against Herefordshire.
Nice.
Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
And I'm quite proud of that. So I got that for. And then my mate Paul Rodwell, who was in the town, said, come on, come down the town. I said, I'm not going to have to go down the town. No way am I going. You could get in the United tomorrow. I said, no, I'm not good enough. So I never went down. I still don't think I was good enough of the standard that this club was at then. Because there's no doubt about it, when you're in the town, you wanted to play for the town.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No matter what local club you're in, they were the pinnacle, and that's what you aimed to get at. So, enough of me and my playing career. It wasn't that good. It was all right. I went from back row to loose head and tight head, and had a run about, met some nice people, still meet some people.
But there's a thing, Dave, from your playing, and I'm not sure whether this is you or not, but it's something that I remember being told when I was Colts age.
Go on.
Somebody told me, and it might be you can confirm or deny, that you used to have some like deep heat like staved in your shorts or behind your ear or something, so you could rub it in your opposite number's eye.
Right.
Was that you?
I will not clarify. I'll rephrase this for you. In those days, Tony, you had to put your Vaseline behind your ears, and it is true. I used to put a bit of white DP behind. If I was playing loose head, I'd put it behind me right ear, the Vaseline and the DP, because when you hit that front row, if you're playing loose head, you know the tight head, he'd wrap his arm right round you like that, and you'd be eating grass for 20 minutes, wouldn't you?
You could be against the Britain.
Yeah, so if you're going to get back against you, you got to hit him with the side of your head, and hope that little scratch might have stung him a little. But that is true. Actually, on that
is proper old school.
That is a proper old school.
Yeah.
But there was another guy who played scrum half when I started playing red night. His name was Jeff Thomas, and Jeff Thomas, on my life, used to take his false teeth out and put a lump of Vaseline in his mouth. And we were already young kids looking at him, what are you doing? And he swore that when he ran out with that, he'd help take away some of the stuff off his chest. Made us all sick, mind, but don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Jeff Thomas, bless him, gone. Good man.
Okay, so let's move on to those Colts years.
Go on then.
As you were, as we said before, you were coach here when I turned up at Cheltenham Colts. Yeah. So I'm just interested in the start of your coaching journey, some of the techniques you used as a coach.
Love it.
And how long did you do it for? Because I don't know exactly how long you did it for.
We'd have to look at those pictures up there in a minute. Probably about 3 or 4 or 5 years, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because then Andy Cushing had me to go and help in the. I don't know why he did that. The United in the first team. But when you talk about Cheltenham Colts, to me, you're talking about John Wood Senior, Bill Brown. They started it before me. John Woodward, Woody, he's a common denominator on all of this. Roger Long, my own mate, I coached with him for quite a while. My brother-in-law, Jerry Finnegan, managed it for a while. Roy Hughes, Pongo Long, all these guys had a bit of rugby nous and knew what to put back into the team. But it's interesting you talked about that. Mike Pittman, I was talking to Mike the other day, and he says, Tanner, you were like a sergeant major. I said, what's that mean? Because I didn't have any idea about coaching, Tony. It was all to me about fitness. It was all to me about, they call it strengthening and all this stuff now. But it was about running up hills with tyres on you, and concrete blocks in. You know what I mean? Rolling.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, and tackling tyres as you ran along the thing. But to me, it wasn't just that. It was about building up the morale of the lads, and building up their enthusiasm and having a laugh. Then at the weekend having a few beers. Because no one's perfect in this life. I don't care who it is. Yeah. Nobody is. But you know, the first bit of coaching I ever learned was Randy Cushing. Do you know what he said to me?
Go on.
He said, short, wide. I said, you what? He said, short, wide. I thought, what's he on about? So then he explained what short, wide was. And when you work about what short, wide is, short, now I'll have it, wide, you then start working out how you can start moving a game about and continuity and all this and moving back, forward and back and running in front of the ball and you know what I mean? And I used to call it leeching when you used to break off and you just get your mate leech onto you and drive. So I wouldn't want to tackle two. I don't mind one, but I've got to tackle two. That sort of stuff. And that's when I started to really learn about coaching. It ain't just about coaching though. The really, really great bit I got out of Colts rugby, true now, 17, 18, 19 young men, full of it. I'm Jack the lad, I can do anything. Hang on a minute, son. You ain't the only one who's been through all this. And it was about learning about them, listening to them, playing up a bit with them, and then watching them develop. Cheltenham Colts up at Leicester. We're playing Leicester Colts, and we just lost by a few points. And next door changing to us are the Harlequins. We've been invited up to the Tiger Room. Chris White was refereeing. Up the Tiger Room we go. Of course, you know, like that. Our blazers are on. We're on the table. We're singing and shouting. And everything's going well. And then this Harlequin tapped me on the shoulder. He said, you with that Cheltenham Colts lot? I said, yeah, I am actually, yeah. He said, well, do you mind getting away your lads to give us our shirts back? We want to go home. We had all their shirts and our kit bags. I went, oh yeah, sorry about that, sir. We'll sort it out for you now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was naughty. Yeah. But it was done in the right spirit, and every shirt was given back. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we got to give them. Yes, you have. You're not allowed to do things like that.
Yeah, that's
things like that. You're not allowed to do it. I remember me and Woody and Roger Long took the Colts, and we went down to Minehead, right, Butlins. And we couldn't afford the Colts, so we had two little minibuses. Anyway, one broke down, and we had to put that on the back of an AA truck, which then got us down to Minehead. I'll never forget this. And we're in Minehead, blah, blah, blah. And so Roger Long says, I got to take a couple of the boys down into Minehead to get some money out so we can come back and have a, good bit of fun. Anyway, 45, 50 minutes later, I'm sat there with Woody and the other half of the lads having a bit. Where's the lads gone? Anyway, they arrived back about an hour later. Two of the South Africans was with us then, mine. I said, where you been, Lonnie? He said, well, it was quite interesting, he said, because we're stood outside the bank trying to get some money out, and round the corner comes this chap with a stick with a great big lump of leather on the end of it. I went, what? Yeah, he's got a funny hat on, he said, and behind him is the Minehead Carnival. I went, okay, no problem. He said,
sounds nice. Yeah.
He said that was all right, he said, but when he went up and hit one of the South Africans on the head with this leather thing, he said all hell broke loose. I said, Lonnie, I said, we can't give you any responsibility whatsoever. Well, we were rolling about laughing. So yeah, I could go on, but to me it was about, and it still is about, treating people as they expect to be treated, for them learning. You've got to set some example, and they got to know where the boundaries are, and then it's about discipline.
Yeah.
Well, that's me on a couple of stories about Cheltenham.
Yeah, that was lovely. I think you're right. In terms of your coaching, like you played to your strengths, which I think is what all coaches should do. Right, you were brilliant at that, and we had to be the fittest team in the country. I'm sure we were. Yeah. Certainly felt that way anyway as a player. Yeah. And the stuff you put us through was, I mean, Peter said, Sergeant Major kind of thing. It definitely bonded the group as well.
Yeah.
So all those things are good, and it's stuff that you get from rugby, which is brilliant going forward. Now then, you mentioned a few of them there. You got 3 lads that have gone on and played a lot of rugby.
Yep.
So what's it like to have, been a rugby player yourself, and then father 3 lads that have gone on and played themselves as well?
Yeah, well, I've got Daniel, Matthew and Benjamin. Danny's the oldest, and you don't have to be excellent at rugby football, but just give it your best, give it your all, and it don't matter. And this is interesting we'll come on to the amateur game in a minute. It is about life, and some people do get on more than others, but just as long as everybody puts your effort in, that's life, and you've got to get on with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Danny started with the Colts. But I went down to Pontypool with them, that team, Danny's and the Colts then. I met my hero. I'm in the gents, as you do. And Graham Price walks in. I said, excuse me. I said, are you Graham Price? He said, yes, Boyle. I said, that was a Welsh accent. He went, yes, Boyle. I said, can I borrow you a beer? Of course you can. And me and him, he was my hero. Strongest right arm which he could lock out. He was brilliant. And I had a beer with him down in Pontypool, and the Colts did that for me. Brilliant.
Yeah, opportunity.
Yeah. So then, Danny he went back down to Sewer Series, but Danny's always been involved with local rugby and all that, and he still does it. Matter of fact, he did a lot on this pitch-in money we made for our change rooms. He led the team on that. It was brilliant. But Matthew, we go to Matthew there. Mm-hmm. Now, you know Matthew.
Number 2 son.
You played with him. I'm from Gloucestershire, so is he. You might want to cut this out in a minute, but his 2 brothers call him the London Tosser, but we can go on from that. Matthew, when he left uni, by the way, us 3, we're not academic, we're just going to, we'll dig the hole for you. He loves London. He's loved London ever since he moved down there with you and Ida. He just loves it. And I think that's brilliant, because he's set his own self up. Now, he was quite a good little rugby player. I think I did remember Cushing said to me once, he kicked a penalty off the touchline to get us in through the old John Player Cup, to earn us some money, about £1,000 I think it was, from one kick. I can't remember who we were playing. The other one, he was quite good. He was good hands, I'll tell you. Good hands, he's a good player. Played for the South and South West and all that sort of nonsense, as you know. Not nonsense, but he had a talent. He couldn't tackle mine. I think he still can. You know what I mean? I'm serious about that. But he has got a rugby brain. He had good hands. And then, yeah, he was playing, and then he went down. He played here, played for the first team here. Then he went down with you to the old Kilfillians, and me and Mike Hyde went down to watch you, Ben Hyde, and then play the old Pats, actually.
Yeah.
There was a big fella, big Irish boy, sat at Kilfillians bar. What was it? I can't remember.
Sean. Sean. Lovely Sean.
Wow. Big Sean was there.
Rest in peace, Sean.
Who are you,
lovely
boys?
Man.
Oh, well, I'm Matt Townsend's dad, and this is Hab, be Jesus. About 4 Guinness later. Brilliant. But that's what you did. I'll tell you a little story in a minute, actually. We watched you guys play Lydney. I watched you play Lydney, old Kilfillians, and they all ran out, and I'm lent on the barrier there, full of all the Lydney boys, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're all running out there and going, you London Tossers and all this sort of. I said, hey, whoa, hang on a minute, mate. I said, 3 of them boys there are Gloucestershire Colts, so calm yourself down. Always remember that. Oh, yeah, no, brilliant.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you've got to have it. Yeah, Matthew played good standard, good lad, well thought of Daniel Kilfillians. Still can't sing, mind, if you want my honest opinion. And as you know, we went down for a surprise thing from the other day, but we can talk about that later on if you want to. Now, Benjamin, he's the young un. He played a bit of rugby. He played for 16s, 17s. Yeah, he did all right. Then he was playing all right. Then he went off a bit. Now he's come back last year. Started to get really back. Got himself into the first team, off the bench, played a couple of times. and injured his ankle very, very badly on the warm-up out here. And to be fair, he's come back a couple of times, but he's not right. So we're trying to get his knee sorted out. And you know what it's like, young family and all that. You've got to get your priorities right.
For sure.
And life happens like that now. So if I was to summarise all three of them, very proud of them. They all got jobs. Rugby football, I suppose with respect, is taught them to stand on their own 2 feet. And to me, that's what this sport's about. Any sport really, if you do it properly, with the right management and the right, whatever you want to call it. They've done well. They've got some good friends. They're well liked. Some people don't like them, but that's life, isn't it? Life goes on like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to be like that.
Of course you don't. You don't like everybody,
No.
do you? So I'm happy. They all like and still love rugby football. They bring their kids up like that. They got the discipline, and they're not perfect. None of us are. But they paid all. They're good boys.
Yeah, good man. Well done. So, back to the club here at Cheltenham.
Yep.
How many teams are you putting out at the moment? What are the challenges going forward?
Yeah. Why do people want to play rugby these days?
There's a lot of other stuff going on, isn't
there? So when you look at, I'm at old school, but when you're new school is, guys want to come and play, or women, they want to come and play rugby now, and they want to do it for physical strength, stamina. They want to do it to keep fit. They want to go to the gym. They want a lifestyle with that in it, don't they? Healthy living, a bit of this and a bit of that. So when you look at our first team, we got first team men's and we got a second team. Right? Ladies have got the first team and they can run a second team every so often.
Okay.
So on the senior side, that's what we've got. Good God, I can remember on a Friday evening in the Echo, every local club had 4 sides out, and you had to look in the Echo to find out what side you were in.
Yeah, who you're getting picked for.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What happens now? Nothing. And it doesn't matter. I'll come back to this in a minute. But it's the game as a whole. The amateur game as a whole. We can talk about levels of the game in a minute. But the amateur game as a whole, people got so much more to do. And yeah, if you want to keep fit and do this, and you want to, that's quite a tough game, rugby football. On the physical contact stuff now it is, and some people don't want it. Some people are playing 0-2 touch out here and they love it, which is great.
Yeah.
But others still want that physicality, and to me it's about having that better physicality, because that you can get rid of your anger sometimes out on that pitch. As long as it's disciplined, get it out your system. So to me it's about, why do you want to play rugby these days? And to me it's about, from that you see, you then get commitment, consistency, availability. What do you mean you're getting married in the season? Are you mad? Yeah, do you know what I mean? What do you mean you're going shopping with the missus tomorrow?
Never used to happen.
Oh, I was, this is true. I was with Dave Parry, the president of Trowbridge Rugby Club, last night at Twickers at this ceremony. And we're stood on Twickers, having a Guinness. And we said, why didn't they play? Would you ever think of getting married? He said, I said, not bloody lightly. He said, neither would I. And he said, isn't it funny? He said, but everyone's got so much to do these days. So, am I happy? Yep, I'm happy we're playing rugby first and seconds. I'm happy with some of the blokes we got here. I want our second team to be a bit more happy in what they're doing. I don't want you to be trying to run out here and being in England first team centre or something. I want you to come in here and have a few beers. I want you to go out there, put your boots on, have a laugh, do the best you can, come to training once a week, learn what we're trying to do, and then go and try and do it. You know, when I lift my arm, it hurts. Well, don't lift your arm. You know what I mean? So go and enjoy it. Get the enjoyment back in it, because that's what, to me, it's all about. Now, of course, you can, if you're that good and you want to go better, we'll push you. We'll push you to your teams, no problem. But it ain't just about that. It's about Saturday afternoon doing a bit of exercise for yourself. And I'll tell you a quick story. In the old days, this thing called 4 S's. strength, stamina, speed, and suppleness. I'm coaching Smith's Rugby Club out here, right? And I did them on a Saturday morning. So blah, blah, blah. I give them the 4 S's. I went at the back, Airsy. He turns around and says, Towner. I went, what? He said, there's a 5th S. I went, go on then. He said, cider. I love that story. Great story. It's true. I see him in the pub these days. 5th S, cider. Yeah. We're in Western Counties North. Good Ardley. Good level of standard. And these clubs in this league, you've got, who's in it now? Matson, you've got Coney Hill. Spartans have just come back up. You've got some other good team around Bristol, Avonmouth, all that sort of stuff. Good sides. And every one of them will tell you the thing what I've just said to you. Because me and Steve talk to the chairman and their committee every time we go away, we have a few beers, and they bring them up here, give them the sausage and chips, all that sort of stuff. And everybody says to you the same. Well, how do you really... Well, hang on a minute. Why do you want to win that league? If you want to win that league, you go very careful. Because you want to win that league, you make sure you can sustain it in the next level up. Now, that ain't just about players. That's about financial transport. That's about hours on a coach. 12 hours here and 4. Some people don't want that. Yeah. Not these days. Some do. But it depends on what you want to do on your playing career, doesn't it? I just want people to be happy. I want them to play the highest standard they can play. And if they want to go on, our club will certainly push them on. We got lots of the boys doing their training here, and our ladies.
Women, Towner.
God, you see. It's an age thing, isn't it? Where am I? Who am I? Yeah, women. Sorry, B. Women. And they're getting the right coaching. But it's what you want as an individual. But go back to that. The game is more than about just running out there with a ball. It's about meeting people. It's about meeting friends for life. Everyone says, you're talking to them. That's not. There are blokes I know right now. I went to a funeral the other day down in Newport, a friend of mine. And we went down there, me, Johnny Green, it was Frank Eford had died actually. Good old boy, played for me, played for the Civil Service, and played for Cheltenham North. And to be fair, we went down to this funeral, it was AD for his brother. Minibus turns up, 12 Cheltenham North boys got out. Now, that's what it's about. Love it.
Yeah, they're from...
Love it.
Yeah.
Tony. And that's what I want from the boys to play the game now. You're not going to get perfection, are you? But please meet some friends and please take that friendship onwards.
Yeah. And it's easy to compare what's happening now compared to yesteryear, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, however long. It's easy to do that comparison. But as you mentioned there, the world's changed. Yeah. Everybody's just a little bit more affluent and they've got more options. So, maybe choices will be different. And I think you're doing the right thing here in just trying to make it a community club and just trying to make it a place that if you do want to play rugby, you can come here, you have a great time with your mates, and as you've just said, probably make friends for life.
To me, that's what I got. Well, as I said, we took that decision about three years ago. We're going to invest in our premises. We're going to give it the best we can so people do want to come along and have a party or play some sport in some good because that's what people are used to now. They want their good facilities. How a rugby club, Tony, and this is, you're getting me going now, a field with a shed in it is what I call basic route rugby. Norton do it round over here. Brilliant. I applaud that because that to me is the real ethos of the game. A few boys in the pub having a couple of pints. Come on, let's have a game of rugger then.
Yeah.
So, well, where are we going to do that now? We'll do it at the local school, then we'll come back. Well, hang on a minute. Farmer thing will give us that field now. Well, we'll put a shed up on it and we'll go from there. Then all of a sudden, you see, you got me into this now. All of a sudden, you now start working out what rugby's about. What is it about? Now, Premiership rugby. Okay, everyone wants to be an international. Jesus Christ. They're massive. These boys, well, they're professional, aren't they? They're earning a big salary. They've got to be. And one of those tackles, you kill you at Ireland. They break you in half. Yeah. And that to me is what it's about. But if you're good enough to get there, then go for it. Imagine getting paid in playing and enjoying what you do. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. Love it. Now, you've got to come down a couple of levels now to actually get to that senior level. Now, I'm going to start bringing money into the equation now. So as you come down a level now, 2 levels, they're all getting paid. They ain't getting as paid as the other people because they still want to do it, but they're not as good as the other people. So they come down another layer. Well, okay, if we give you 50 quid a week and him 50 pounds a week, that'll be brilliant because we now got, I don't know, a great number 8 and a great centre. Hang on a minute, what about everybody else? Everybody else is working their nuts off here, and you went, they ain't giving 50 quid, are they? Oh, okay, then, well, hang on, so how'd you do that then? Oh, well, give them all 50 quid. Then you can't find the money no more, then your club goes from top of the league down 3 leagues. How many times have we heard this? And you go through any club where we are, well, I know, talk to people, and everybody says the same. So what do you want to do with your rugby club? How far do you want to take it? What do you want to do? What are you doing it for? Players or you? It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because as you then come on down, I say, oh, your rugby club paying. We're not paying them. Our committee, we have a budget of our committee, and nobody gets paid. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I said, look, well, that's the point. Let me tell you. We have a sponsorship deal where you get a sponsor, and our club is 250 quid. A company will give you a sponsor. They'll pay your membership and all your stash. There you go. Done.
Yeah.
Well done. That's because you're probably a little bit better than some of the other lads. So, but everyone's gone up your sleeve. Go and get a sponsor. Go and get your dad to do it if you like.
Yeah. It's contributed to the club.
It's contributed back to the club. So we do sponsorship, and we list our sponsors out, and we list the players out alongside them. So don't tell me we're paying, we're not. Well, whatever happens outside of this club is nothing to do with me or others, Johnny. Of course it ain't. Because I only have to sign an RFU bit of paper that says we're not paying players. You know, I'm daft.
Yeah.
No, our policy in this club says we don't pay players. No. You go up a layer or 2, you're in the layer up there where they're all. So don't try and go up there then if you can't sustain it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Colfinians have been the same.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, we never ever play players.
They can't.
Yeah, yeah. It's not within the club's DNA. It's not with it's not what the club's for. And as far as I know, we never will. I don't see the club changing. It may do in the future, but I don't see that happening. So it's that grey area you're talking about between complete amateur and professional.
Yeah.
And those decisions that are made in that area are really influential.
They're fluid as well.
Yeah.
The boundaries are not. The RFU are trying to set your boundaries, but it's difficult.
It's very difficult because then you're kind of maybe stifling some clubs' ambition, or it's a difficult area, and I think we're a long way from it being settled and it being stable.
Totally agree.
But I think we're learning all the time, and I think slowly it's getting better, and hopefully these clubs that skyrocket and then disappear, fingers crossed, I'm sure there'll be another 1 or 2 that happen, but hopefully there'll be less and less now as the years go on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
See, there's a criticism of say, if you look at the RFU doesn't help the lower teams. Football don't do that at all. I would say the RFU recognise it. They put an AGP out here. Now, if that ain't investing in local rugby partnerships, tell me what it is. The bit I think they miss, because everybody knows the problem, what's the solution? And that is your issue. It's getting a view, a good general view. You'll never get 100% on this. 80-20 would go, wouldn't it? Let's have a go at this and try that. And that's the bit I think they could improve on. But to me, I think they do invest in local rugby and in amateur rugby. If you compare them with the Football Association, they don't give anything down to lower levels.
Yeah.
Not what I can see anyway. But that's diversing a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Towner, is there anything more you want to say about what you're doing here at Cheltenham?
We're still on our road to improve the facilities. We ain't going to let go of. We're here for the kids. My personal bit now is president of this club. I'm quite happy to do that as a volunteer, but I don't want to forget why I'm here. And I can come down here on a Sunday morning I can see tiger cubs out there, 4 and 5, chucking a ball about, or kicking a ball, don't mind. I can see the MJ out here, and the kids running about, and you stand back, and you look around at 19 acres, and you go, yeah, this is what it's about. Building some up for the future. We got a new MNY chairman. James Critch's just done us 4 years. Good years, done us proud. 5 years. Nick Ralph just come in. And new to the game, been running one of the under 11s, under 12s, I think. Coming in and taking a new chairman job on. He said to me and Steve, guys, he said, I'm not into politics. I'm here for those kids. Now, what a great statement. What a great statement that is from a new bloke coming in, never done this sort of stuff before. I ain't here for politics. I'm here for those kids. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And we'll give him the facilities to do it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, mate, well, listen, wish you all the best here with what you're doing.
Yeah.
But we're going to move away from Cheltenham now and get on to the law section of the game.
Go on, then.
As I was always saying, nobody's perfect on the laws. I don't believe that to be the case. They're sometimes people say they're a little bit complex, and they probably are. But that's no reason not to try and improve where we can. So, with that in mind, Dave Townsend, it's time to find out if you are a rugger law bore.
Sir, are you sure that's correct?
Okay, Towner, here's your question.
Right.
A player who is lying on the ground reaches up and tackles an advancing opposition player. Is it play on, or is it a penalty?
Right, can I phone a friend?
You can phone a friend if you want, yeah.
Well, I tried Chris White and he was unavailable.
Right, Chris White, the referee.
International referee.
Yeah.
I've tried Jeff Coe from the Gloucester Society, a friend of mine, he's unavailable. So I ended up with Roger Whitfield, who's our vice chairman, ex-referee. I don't want to phone him because he's useless. A bloke's led on the floor.
So you've got to answer it yourself.
So this is a ruck, is it?
No,
he just led on the floor.
Just led on the floor.
Anywhere in the park.
Yeah, maybe he's tripped over.
Someone is running.
Yeah.
And he tackles him.
Yeah.
Off the floor.
Yeah. So he's lying on the floor.
Gotcha.
And he sort of reaches up
and tackles him.
Yeah.
That's open play. It's open play. Is he offside?
He's not offside.
He's not offside. Okay. And he's led on the floor. Okay. Has he been injured, I suppose? Has he come back?
Could be injured.
Okay.
The reason why he's on the floor is not relevant.
It's not relevant.
It's not
okay.
relevant.
So this guy's running with the ball,
yeah,
and he's tackled him off the floor.
Yeah.
So you're asking me, is that legal or has he got to be penalised?
Correct.
Well, I wouldn't penalise him. Personally, I wouldn't penalise him because I would think the game is in motion, is in play. You can tackle, as long as you're onside, you can tackle anybody on that part with the ball. If you haven't got the ball, you can't do it. So my answer would be, play on.
It's incorrect, Towner.
Oh, no. Why? Why is that?
Because he's on the floor. You've got to be on your feet to play in the game of rugby.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're on the floor for whatever reason, and this is actually one that happens, not regularly, but I have seen it quite a few times in games where, and it does happen mostly after a ruck or mostly after someone's just made another tackle.
Right.
Maybe that person they tackled offloads it to an oncoming player, and the guy's still on the floor, and it instinctively almost tackles that guy again.
Well, he would do, because if he's come running in close to that ruck, you can think, well, I've got to tackle him.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the floor.
It's instinctive, but it is.
Oh, right,
but it is a penalty. Yeah.
In which case, I'll take my glasses back.
So that means
I got it wrong.
That means, Towner, you are not a rugger law bore.
Thank you very much indeed, and I will buy the referee a pint in the bar afterwards.
And just to make you feel better, you are in the vast majority of my guests who are also not rugger law bores.
How did Phil Waters answer it?
Phil Waters was excellent.
Oh, he would do.
Yeah.
Waters. Yeah, I know.
Not only that, he gave me some advice on my other questions. One of which I got wrong myself.
Did you? Well,
yeah. So
shows you're human, doesn't it?
Exactly. I mean, that just goes to prove, even though I researched the question that I asked,
still got it wrong.
I still got it wrong myself. So
brilliant.
That kind of sums up the whole point of this section, really.
Brilliant.
Okay, some more quick fire questions, Towner. What is your favourite bit of stash that you've ever received? Could be as a player, as a coach. Just a bit of kit that you really loved.
I think I once had a Cheltenham coaching top blue with a nice badge on it. It was waterproof, and I liked that. I also liked the top I got when we played Harlequins in that big Pilkington Cup thing. Then I had a nice blue and bottom top with that. That went missing somewhere, but that's my best stash. But am I into stash? No, players are into stash.
Yeah, okay.
I have to wear my blazer every Saturday at all the games with a tie.
Don't you like that? I thought you'd love that.
I hate ties.
Oh, it's a tie. The blazer you must.
I don't mind the blazer
Okay.
because that's part of the job.
Number ones, yeah.
Number ones, exactly. Coach used to have number ones. Got off
100%.
that coach.
Yeah.
My God, they thought, what we got coming here? Well, we're ready for the game, boy. No, I don't. Do people wear ties these days?
Not really. I haven't worn one in years, mate.
I know that, mate. That's why I asked them.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, I'm not into stash, but players are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, these next two questions might be interesting then. What is your favourite kit of all time? This could be any team from any
easy.
era.
Easy.
Go on.
England with a red rose on it. Next.
What, like a classic one, like an old school one?
No,
just
the England shirt
So-
with a red rose on it.
any England shirt.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Get that rose on it,
Yeah.
mate. I'm English. I'm proud of it.
Good man.
By the way, my sister, my mother would come from Bargood, and my dad was Cheltenham. So half Welsh. My sister thinks she's Welsh, and I know I'm English. Yeah, good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that though.
Yeah.
White shirt with a red rose on it.
Done.
Tony.
Done. Okay, and any kit that at the moment that's out there, like a current one that you really love, or conversely, anyone that you think looks awful and should never be seen on a rugby pitch again?
Well, I think I remember seeing one of those French teams right in those pink shirts. Okay, only men can wear pink. I thought, Christ, yeah, fair comment. I wouldn't want to tackle one of them, but that did question me a little bit about wearing these pink rugby shirts out.
Any pink kit is the one that you're
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, ish.
Yeah.
I don't really. Want it.
Yeah. Mate, that brings us to a close. So I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the pod. It's been a real pleasure. And if people want to get a hold of you, or Cheltenham Tigers, or anything that you're doing on here, how people best get hold of you?
Come on through our website, mate.
Perfect.
Johnny.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys, what I'll do is I'll excuse me. What I'll do is I'll make sure I link up Cheltenham Tigers website in the show notes below. And if you're in the Gloucestershire area, come down and see what they're doing here. It's a lovely place, and as I've mentioned, it's my first real rugby club, and I've loved catching up with you, Towner, today. And I wish you all the best.
Tony, I want you to have a good old run at this, because I reckon this podcast thing, I am an old, fart. And I reckon it's brilliant. And I reckon from the amateur side of it, getting the boys and the people who know about the rugby game, I reckon it's brilliant. And I congratulate you on doing it. Well done, Tony.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks very much again to Towner. It was fantastic to catch up and see all the great things that are happening at Cheltenham, the club where I enjoyed some of my most memorable rugby days. The club looked in really good shape, and their decision to focus on facilities is one that I entirely applaud. If you've enjoyed this podcast, you could like, comment, share and subscribe, but what I'd really like is if you mention it to someone in person the next time you're down your local rugby club. I will be back with you next week when my guest will be my former Esher teammate Colm Hannon. I've got a lot of time for this giant friendly Irishman, and it was an absolute pleasure to travel over to Galway to interview him. But now it's time for me to go and catch up with my friends here in Amsterdam for a pancake and maybe an Amstel or two. So until next week, get out and play.